down here. So with that, I'll let Marty get into the 463 and give you a good synopsis of where we are.
Well, as Marty's coming up, let me, on behalf of the commission, once again tell you that the love affair is mutual. And we, I don't know where we would be on the historic side without the support and diligence of the Friends. So it's terribly important to this railroad, and we can't thank you enough for everything that you and your wonderful members do on behalf of the railroad.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Marty?
As Tim said, we have a deadline of March 31st. In view of that, we've been increasing the people working on the project. The Friends have kicked in, helping out, doing the woodwork on the tender site. And a month ago, we hired a local young man, Lucas Mays, who is from Monte Vista, and actually was a friend of Max Casillas. And now that the season's ended, 3 weeks ago, Max Casillas and Jake Behill are now working 40 hours a week in Monte Vista on the 463. Bob Sullivan, who had worked in Chama as a machinist, is going to be coming over 2 days a week for the near future, starting on Monday. And Jim Poston continues to handle our paperwork and our procurement. And he doesn't like it when I refer to him as our vice president in charge of procurement, but he handles a lot of the work that I'd rather not. The Durango and Silverton shop has turned the drivers, they turned the journals, the tires, and then quartered the crank pins, and they also turned the journals on the lead and trailing wheels. So we have all the wheels for the locomotive ready to go under the locomotive, other than paint, sitting in the shop in Monte Vista. We are cutting down the locations where the parts are. It's not quite as scattered all over the country. The frame and boiler and tender tank and drive wheels are inside the shop in Monte Vista. The tender frame is here in the Friends facility in Antonito. Steam Operations Corporation is continuing the machining on the driving boxes at a shop in St. Louis. And the only other component, I think, that is at a remote location is the new side rod is being machined at Melcher Brothers in Durango. So it is funneling together, the locomotive is coming back together, and I have some pictures here that I can pass around. This past Monday, Jake, with help from Lucas, primed the tender, and yesterday the tender was painted black. So I'd be glad to answer any questions, but we're working away, and we now have a larger crew working on the locomotive.
March 31 is still the realistic completion?
I don't have a choice.
Or do we need to work on the definition of completion?
We've done that already.
Why don't you leave those pictures, Marty, right there on that table, and that way when people go to lunch and whatnot, they can take a look at it. We can have an opportunity to look at those. Questions? Budget-wise, Tim, we're still...
I cracked the whip with Marty. Yeah, we're all right, and I mean, we got to find a little more money yet, but that $100 grand.
I was just going to say the $100,000 is significant.
And that's exactly what we asked for from Ludwig. We weren't sure we were going to get the whole amount. We thought we'd get some, but when their program manager called me up and said, "You got the $100K," I carted it. So that's fantastic.
Any other questions?
When's your next meeting, Tim?
What's that?
When's your next meeting?
Our next board meeting will be in March in Albuquerque. I don't have the date offhand, but it's like the third week in March.